pocket. I had only a few things I wanted to make sure that I shared on my show today. One is a little bit of analytics. I'm an analytics junkie, and this is just kind of FYI for Captain McCormick. My wonderful, happy YouTube channel, Great Meakin, just went over 1 million impressions. And a few days ago, and as of this moment, 1009042. So we've had like 9,000 impressions in the last week or so. Secondly, I just want to share my heart while I know I have the mic, and it's called Burning Desires in the AA program. Burning Desires. Here's my burning desire, and really, and I think I've communicated with him a number of times in the past, but this heartfelt burning desires directly to President Donald J. Trump, who I describe as 45, 46, 47, changed my mind. So there are burning desires. I only have a few of them, and I want to get them on the record because I can. I don't care what process is. I don't care what goes on up in that politics. James, I wouldn't be in Washington, D.C. for $1 million right now. Maybe 1 million, but maybe. Anyhow, number one, to President Trump. I don't know how it works. It's too complicated for me. If it takes an executive order, that's fine. But I want Captain James McCormick to receive the Medal of Honor yesterday. There are other people. There's tons. And these are Desmond Doss kind of guys. These are James McCormick kind of guys. These are Eddie Floyd kind of guys. These are Sammy Davis kind of guys. And I don't really care how it works. If I could see Forrest Gump, who is Sammy Davis, receive the Medal of Honor, I could see James do that. My only caveat and condition is when Trump puts that on your over your neck, Captain, when he does that, I want to be present in the press corps with Miss Val, our military Val, radio gal. That's it. So that's number one. And again, I don't care what the process is. Secondly, I'd like Val Olson to receive a Social Security number. That's what I'd like. If President Biden could dole out 4 million Social Security numbers to people who've never spent 5 minutes in the country, then he can dole out one Social Security number. That means she's a U.S. citizen. No one can mess with her anymore, okay? Because she's under the protection of the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Last bastion of freedom in the world. I never thought I'd ever say that coming from Canada, but Canada left me. So Social Security number for Val Olson, that's number 2, and of course her family. A last question is I'd request that President Trump review the open letter that I know he has in his hands to Premier Daniel Smith in Alberta. And I encourage President Trump to encourage Daniel Smith to call a referendum for AB 51 now, like sooner or later. Just maybe 45, 60 days, enough to be able to do some marketing, unlike the election up there right now. It's called a snap election. So it doesn't have to be a snap referendum, but give the nice folks up there who've been working their butts off, okay, for sometimes decades. Right there. That's Michael Mandeville right there, receiving his Alberta 51 hockey jersey. Val, you're a magician. It's almost like you have an Alberta file or something. So I'd encourage Daniel Smith to call a referendum up and down. Do you want to be the 51st state of the United States? Yes or no? This time around, it can't be undecided because you actually have to bloody vote. You have to lift a finger, go to the polls, and vote. But you pull the curtain across just like you do in the United States. And even if you're pretending to be something else, like Trump posters, I wrote about it. Those were Hillary Clinton voters, Trump posters, who would say publicly they voted for Hill, but they voted for Donald Trump behind the curtain. So would you call an up or down referendum? Because I know she can. And then just go from there. So would you do that? So that's to President Trump. And I'll just leave off and thank him and his staff for monitoring my programs in the past. First one was MAGA Matters with you, Captain. And thank him for that. And if he ever gets an opportunity, if he could plug my book, that'd be great. That'd be great. Why I came to America and what I think now. This is my talking point, my call to action of the day. I've imposed, I think I told you this, Captain. I think I told you this, Val. I've imposed a 100% tariff on myself. My ebook, which I priced at $5, mainly for Captain McCormick's 200,000 military veterans that follow him and that we went out to radio one night, mainly for those 200,000 guys. And there's more. There's about 1 million. There's about 1 million that follow Captain McCormick, including the president and past presidents. But I imposed a tariff on my own book where it's not going to be $5 anymore. It's going to be $10, $9.99. I'll decide what day that tariff is going to be imposed. But that's my call to action. Get it before it's gone. Get it before tariffs are imposed. And the funny thing is, I've had ebook orders from Canada, from England, and from Australia, whatever. I love that. So those are my burning desires of the show. I'm going to turn the show actually back to Val.